Recently, city officials have been receiving a wave of reports about wild boars storming into residential areas, causing chaos and posing a serious threat to public safety. This kind of thing has never happened before. These animals usually stick to the outskirts, damaging crops in the rural zones, rarely daring to enter urban areas. But now, their sudden and reckless behavior has thrown the entire city into a state of high alert. And so, we were called in, a team of professional hunters, mobilized for an emergency hunt. We pinpointed a mountainous forest area surrounding the fields as the likely hiding spot of the boar herd. The terrain was rugged and visibility was limited. Spotting the targets wouldn't be easy, but this time we had backup, a pack of battle-hardened hunting dogs. As soon as the dogs started barking, we split up and moved into ambush positions from multiple directions. The boars panicked and fainted, a moment of pure chaos, but also the perfect chance to strike. We opened fire. Gunshots echoed through the forest. The smell of gunpowder mixed with the agonized squeals of wounded boars. The scene looked and felt like a real battlefield. A few initial targets were taken down, but the rest of the herd wasn't giving up that easily. The hunt wasn't over. There were still plenty of targets on the run. We had to move fast if we wanted to bring down as many as possible. While scouting the surrounding area, suddenly, a massive wild boar burst out of the bushes. The situation escalated in the blink of an eye, but I kept my cool, lined up the perfect shot, and pulled the trigger. The whole forest now felt like a war. Boars scattered everywhere, from huge herds to lone runners. But no matter how fast they ran, our hunting dogs were relentless, staying hot on their trail. There, I held my breath and squeezed the trigger without hesitation. The shot landed. The target darted off in a frenzy, but there was no escape. A well-placed bullet sealed its fate. No time to rest. We kept moving, combing the area for more targets. More wild boars, trying to make a run for it. We wasted no time, throwing everything we had at them before they could do more damage. Everything was going smoothly. From my ambush position, I managed to take down several more targets. But that last shot startled the rest of them, sending the herd fleeing in panic. They tried to hide, but the dogs didn't let up, and neither did we. We weren't about to let any of them slip away. After all the destruction these boars caused, we were determined to show no mercy. We gave it everything we had, tracking, chasing, and taking down even the smallest targets. Just when we thought it was all over. On the way back, I was caught off guard, more boars moving along the hillside. I didn't waste a second. I raised my rifle and aimed at each one. They tried to escape, but I was just as fast. Gunshots rang out, one after another, and the targets dropped like dominoes. The thrill of the hunt is real, but behind the adrenaline is a very real danger. These wild boars aren't just destroying crops anymore. Now they're threatening people's lives by invading the city.
In recent days, the situation of wild boars has been the destruction in this mountainous area has gotten out of control. The farmers here are fed up. They need an immediate solution, and that's why we're here. Today, our plan is twofold. Set a trap for wild boars first, then go hunting in the nearby mountains. We drag large iron cage traps to an area where wild boars often pass by. The dense footprints on the ground show that they have been here many times before. The trap is firmly reinforced, has a surveillance camera system, placed close to the edge of the forest, baited with corn and food with the scent of bran. After completing, the group quickly moves to the mountain, ready for the hunt. We split into two groups, lurking on the hilltops. The group moved carefully, listening, observing every movement around. Here it is, a wild boar appeared right in front. The first round of fire was deployed. We were quite surprised that it could escape without any damage. Raise the gun, ambush ahead. But this was just the beginning. We continued to move forward, searching for the boar's tracks. Something was ahead. Approach carefully, it was a wild boar. This is a very crowded herd of pigs. The pigs are big and fat, but their speed of movement cannot be underestimated. Therefore, it is very difficult to shoot accurately and take them down. It seemed like an opportunity was coming, but the herd of pigs detected the danger. They immediately turned around and ran away. Without thinking much, we decisively pulled the trigger. We only managed to take down a medium-sized target. With a bit of regret, the group was determined to track down and take down the entire herd of pigs. Here it is. The eyes of the group still followed every movement of the wild pigs. As soon as they moved to the most ideal position, gunshots immediately rang out. The hunt continued. Each time we encountered them, we had to calculate the appropriate tactics to optimize efficiency while still ensuring safety. Through each battle, the number of wild boars killed increased. We knew that there were still many other herds of wild boars lurking somewhere on this mountain. We arrived at the neighboring mountain. This was where the wild boars often came in the afternoon to find food. And as expected, another herd of pigs appeared. This time, the battle was more fierce. We had to constantly move and change positions to avoid being counterattacked by the pigs. The huge, bulky boars were still galloping across the hillsides. Only when they reached an open area could we open fire. Despite having killed a large number, the battle was not over yet. The wild boar continues to thrive, and there will certainly be more hunting trips like this in the future. The last series of shots could only take down a few wild pigs. Quite a pity, so we need to try harder. Today, we did a good job, but tomorrow, there are still many challenges waiting ahead. As the sky began to darken, the group returned to the trap area. When they arrived, the sight before their eyes surprised everyone. The trap had worked. At least 10 wild boars were trapped inside, struggling wildly but unable to escape. To ensure safety, we decided to finish them off before opening the trap. After a long day of fighting, we had taken down dozens of wild boars, a significant number in our efforts to control their numbers.